About to begin, he's wandering in. I think he'd be satisfied, although you never like to lose a game. Let's sit back now and have a listen to Bucks.
Nathan, what did you make of that?
Some good and some room for improvement, but ultimately a loss. But the effort was better from the last couple of weeks.
You came over under a lot of external scrutiny. You lost a couple of really big names early on. How do you pick the boys up after that? And sitting at 1-4, how do you psych them back up?
Yeah, no, well, look, the win-loss is a win-loss. I'll talk to you about this week. The first quarter was excellent. I thought we definitely came with a plan that we thought was going to be effective. Second quarter, we really dropped away, and that's where the game was lost in many ways. We just weren't able to get on our terms often enough. Probably weren't as clean around the ball as we were early, and that hurt us in that second quarter. More
forward. He kicked 3 goals, I think, in the end. But did you think in that second quarter, you wanted to hit that button and send him back, or what was your thoughts with that?
Yeah, he went back as an extra for the last 5 minutes of the second quarter. Yeah, we did, clearly, but we've consolidated to improve our contest in front of the ball, and Darcy showed that. And I think that for the large part that was effective. But no, we didn't defend our D50 as well, so it was robbing Peter to pay Paul in some ways. But it's not a one-week thing. We need to get a little bit more evidence to see if that's something sustainable going forward.
How big are those losses? Obviously, very important players for you, Jeremy. Jordan McGoey. How bad are the injuries, firstly, and what did it do to your planning for tonight during the game?
Oh, look, it's not easy. I think with the rotations and the length of the game, I think having that medical sub, the whole idea of it is you reduce the possibility of an advantage with rotations. So we lost that pretty quick, or at least the evenness of it. But the two blokes, to replace in season is difficult. To replace in game is almost impossible. But having said that, we felt like we shuffled around and had enough of the play. Went inside 50 more often, but defending our back half and defending 50 was probably where the game was won and lost.
Just on to go, what exactly was the injury in the end?
So broken nose and concussion.
And how many weeks do you think he'll miss?
No idea.
He came back on just for a brief moment, then went back off. So he came off to do a concussion test after that. Is that what?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was delayed concussion, but the doctor assessed him when he had the opportunity to, and deemed that he was no good to continue. So more than likely he misses another week. I don't think he'll miss any more than that with his nose, but he won't be able to play next week given the rules, and then he'll be looking around 7.
And how bad is the hamstring?
Yeah, it's not. Hammies aren't great at the best of times, but we'll have to have a look at scans and see how that settles.
It was a really weird way that he did it. It was just landing, and he grabbed pretty high up straight away. Is that a concern that those ones can often be quite bad?
I don't know. You're a doctor? I can't help you with that. Yeah.
Darcy, forward, do you think you'll continue with that?
Yeah, we need more than 1 week to go off it. And like he looked dangerous at times. It's going to take him time to get a handle on it. The last time he played forward, the game was pretty different. So that's going to take time. But we, as I said yesterday, we needed to change things up. We're looking for better. And the flip side of that is Mark Keane, a young fella who came in and had a tough night tonight. But we believe that he's got the capacity to stand up in that role. And as you see with young players, sometimes it compounds a little bit. So we've got full faith that he's got the traits to be able to play that role and play it really well. And he'll learn from that.
How are you feeling with the pressure that you're personally under? Are you ignoring it, or how are you handling it?
No, we were really focused on tonight and finding a better performance. And in some ways we did. In others, clearly we weren't good enough tonight. But no, we've got a longer preparation in Essendon, and we'll focus on that.
That forward line, you have Myercheck, Moore, Cox, and the resting ruckman up there all at the same time. Is that an option? Is that something you can do?
It would be.
Like Grundy put up there, took those couple of good marks up there with Cameron helping him out. Is that option? Is that something that you wouldn't do?
It's an option. If you were coaching, how do you think your ground level pressure would go after that?
Was that, sorry?
If you were coaching, how would your ground level pressure go with that? Yeah, you'd want to mark it a fair bit, and I suppose that's part of the challenge is putting a mix together that is going to be effective, and we're still looking for it. I will say I thought the general energy and effort of the players was an improvement tonight, and when you've got that, you can work with that to find out what your best mix is. Now we'll be a few players shy, but that's happening across the competition, and we'll have we've got plenty of players there that we can access. We've just got to get our system more consistent and impose it on the opposition more often. And we did it for portions of tonight and looked dangerous, but we need to do it for longer.
Brody Myercheck had some ice on the shoulder at the end there. What was that issue?
Yeah, AC, a bit of an AC stinger, so how bad that is, we'll let that settle. But he had a good night tonight. If he'd have kicked straight, he would have been even more damaging.
And was it the calf for Green came off and then he played through? No, he's fine.
Second quarter, Nathan, and that being where the game got away from you, what specifically did they do to get on top?
Oh, I didn't think we were as clean that quarter. I thought we blasted the ball out of our back 50 a little more often than we would have liked, turned it over in our front half. Outside of the second quarter, we really controlled territory and went inside 50 more often. But we just probably got a bit long as forwards. Didn't get the contest for our exits out of D50 as much as we would have liked, and we're on our heels accordingly.
What did you make of the
Yeah, I thought he really sort of worked into his game really well. Showed some really good signs, good composure, work rate right through to the end. Early he was seeing the game really well, used the ball pretty well, so there's plenty to work with for us.
How did you view the ruck battle?
Oh, look, Brody was elite early, wasn't he? He was up and about and pushing forward and hitting the scoreboard was what we'd hoped to see. It's been a much debated and spoken about issue, but the pure possession numbers or the pure hit-out numbers are less relevant. I think we have a prototype ruckman. He follows up at ground level and he impacts, either wins the ball or he puts pressure on the opposition. And Brody's developed his aerial capacity in the last 2 or 3 years, and we want him to express and explore that even more. And we think he can. And we think he will be a better side when he continues to do that consistently.
Nathan, are you a better side than 1 and 4? Does that feel accurate?
Oh, look, everyone will have their opinion. When you lose a couple of games that you're in winning positions, that hurts. You've got to make the most of the positions you put yourself in, round 3 and round 4 potentially. But no, the win-loss is where it stops. At the end of home and away, that's all that really will count. So we've got some wins to chase to put ourselves back to where we want to be. Cheers.
Cheers, very soon.